Hello and welcome back to Just Code It. Today we're going to be creating another application and kind of tying everything together with MCP servers, tools, and then Chainlit to create a full-fledged app that allows you to chat with stocks and news for that stock and then also do some math with that stock. This is the full app. Here we can have it ask, what is Tesla's price? And then we can also do, what is the price of 10 of APL. And you can see the agent shows you our tool calls. I added that in just so we can see we're calling this tool with the symbol Tesla. This is the response, and then this is the agent's actual message. Okay. Another example of how to use this app is we can see how tools can work together. Here we're grabbing Apple's share price, and then we're going to use our calculator to calculate the price of 10 shares of Apple. It takes a bit of time to run though. And we have our tool getting the Apple price. This is the response, and we're calling this expression to get the response. That is the current price of 10 shares of Apple, $2,318 with some change. I guess round up to 19. Then we have our agent response, which would typically be what we return to the user. This is just more for debugging purposes. Moving on, let's just jump right into actually coding this thing. The first bit, to start the Chainlit app, we do Chainlit run and then the file name with a W at the end for watch the current directory for our file changes. That will reload this every single time there's file changes within that directory. The first thing we're going to do is set up some just config. We're going to load our environment variables, set our Llama path if you want to use Llama, or get your open router API key, and then set your model names. I was just playing around with a few. This GPT OSS 100 bill or 120 bill is actually pretty good for tool calling. At first, we're going to go a bit out of order and actually jump down to the method set starters. We're just going to throw this in here, and this will actually give us those starters that we like right here. You can ask the LLM a question given the starters. You can make these whatever you want. I just made some that are good for testing. I don't have to type as much. How these starters work is you have the label, what the user actually sees, then the actual message. You see when I hit Tesla, it actually sends the message to the LLM, and then just the icon. They're pretty simple and they are actually super useful. We can go back up to the top now and start with our first tool. The first tool is the MCP agent, and it does UV, and this is a MCP agent that you can look up. If you just Google it, it will be right there. You were just using it, what it has. I think I actually had it pulled up. Here it is. We can get stock info, stock news, search, get topics, and price history. That is the MCP server that we're using. Bundles up a bunch of tools for us. Then we're going to have the get topic headlines, which the LLM gives it a topic, one of these topics, and it returns the top 10 stories from that topic and kind of parses it out and makes it in a neat way for the LLM to read right down here, where we're essentially just creating a list of articles. A lot like the previous one, this search recent news is essentially, instead of having a topic, we're just going to have a query and a number of hours. The default is 1 hour. It can go up to 24. We check for 24 here, and then we use this Google News again, set our info, then GN search, give it our query, and then give it the number of hours. Check to see if any results return, and then again, create a structured output or a structured return for the LLM. Finally, we have calculator. You might remember this from one of our previous videos where we created this cool tool called Calculator. What it does is essentially combines add, subtract, multiply, divide, all that fun stuff into a single tool by using the eval from Python where you can evaluate a math expression. The LLM will construct that math expression with its knowledge, 10 times 5, get a response back, which is what they suck at. Hopefully this will improve your responses from LLMs doing math. They've gotten a bit better though. And I think that might have been the last tools. Let me just keep going though, just in case. These are all the local tools. This is our system prompt where we're essentially just giving it some information, telling it to look at some tools and telling it about how it should answer. Moving down, we then create our LLM where we create the LLM using OpenAI, but we're actually using OpenRouter, using the OpenRouter API key. You can uncomment this right here to use Chat-O-Llama, where you can use a Llama model. I'm just using OpenRouter because it's a little bit faster for me. After creating the LLM, we're then going to start creating our LangGraph and creating the structure and methods along with it. The first thing we're going to do is create the should continue. This is a decision node. A better way to look at this would actually be pulling up the graph. The graph that we're creating is going to start. Let's move this over here for a sec. It's going to start, and then we're going to have the agent node, and then the should continue is either going to go to the tool, which is going to go back up to the agent node, or it's going to go to the end. The tool will go loop back to agent though. Let's just make that nice and small. It's not a perfect diagram. I didn't feel like spending the time actually creating one. Let's actually just get rid of that. Okay, that is the diagram we're trying to create, is essentially a loop, and then the should continue essentially sends it either to the end or to the tools. You can see that right here in the should continue where the end node is either going to be tools or end. Now we're going to build our graph. What we're going to do within this build graph is first create our builder, which is just going to be that state graph with the message state. And then we're going to actually create another definition or another function within or method within called call LM node, which is going to essentially bind our tools and invoke our message to our LM and then get the response from the message. This is going to do the actual execution. After that, we're going to create our tool node using the LangGraph tool node, which is right up here. Tool node, LangGraph pre-build tool node. This tool node is constructed from our tools. Remember, this is a list of tools. Then we're going to create our graph nodes, which are agent and tools. Agent is call LLM node. That is the node that represents our agent. And then the tool node is the one we just created. Finally, we're going to draw some edges where we're going to start at the start, that predetermined LangGraph start node. And then we're going to go to agent. After agent, we're going to have a conditional node where we start at agent and we take the path of should continue. This conditional edge might look a bit different than what we've been doing previously because I left out this path mapping. Like I've been stating previously, I like keeping my node mappings the same in and out. And if you do that, you actually don't have to specify your path mappings. It will just know it. It will essentially go to the node with the same name as the path you defined. For instance, tools is going to tools, and then underscore end is actually just how we end it. It's not a specific one. After that, we're going to create an edge between our tools and our agent. That's that loop back to the agent to call another tool, and it will essentially go through that loop until the end is hit. Finally, we're going to return the builder.compile, which is compiling the graph, making sure it looks good. And that is it for building our graph. The final part of this code is actually creating the user interface. Like you already saw, we already created this part of the user interface, which is right here, which is the starters, set starters. Now the last part is just this right here, which is on message. What this on message does is when the message is actually hit, this is called. And what it does is creates a thread ID, creates a new history for this chat, and then initializes our message. So here you can see our message goes back to null. Oh, I was wondering why it responded. All the code's in. Okay, what is that rainbow crap? After initializing all those variables, we're going to create a try except. Then, like before, we're going to do asynchronous with SD client. I hate pronouncing these. With the read write, with a nestled one, with a asynchronous client session, read write, and then as session. Wait for the session to initialize, create those MCP tools by loading the MCP tools using that load MCP tool. This is a package from LangChain MCP adapter. I believe you have to install that. If you did not watch our previous video, I think it's just LangChain-MCP-adapter. After those tools are created, we're then going to combine those tools with our local tools right here to create our bigger list of tools, I guess, and create our LLM. After that, we're going to take that LLM and our tools and build our LangGraph agent using them. This is essentially combining our tools into that graph structure. After creating the agent graph, we now are going to get to actually streaming back that response like we did in the previous app. What you could do to make this a bit simpler if you don't really care about looking at what the tools are doing, you can essentially delete everything up to here, just stream back the agent message. If I save that, it should just give us the response with the agent message and none of the visibility into the tool calling. I just added that for kind of the tutorial sake to allow us to see what is actually happening under the hood. But if you want to just make this simple, you can essentially delete that out, get rid of that just because you don't need that anymore, and just stream back the user agent info. But if you want to actually add the tools, you can see which tools are being called and then the response from the tools. What we're doing to get that extra information is essentially just having two if statements that will get the tool calls from the agent and come down here. We also need to get the tools and get the message from the tools. The messages from the tools are essentially the response from the tools. It's kind of like the LLM is chatting with the tool. It uses the same kind of syntax. If, as you see up here, the agent has messages and then the tools have messages. It keeps that general structure. You grab the tools, which is right here, and what it's giving us is those arguments, symbol Tesla, and down here when it gets the message, which this is the message of the tool. This is the message of the tool, this JSON object, but it's kind of cut off. I cut it to 700 characters here. That's why you don't see the end tag, but this JSON object is essentially just the get ticker info from that MCP server. That is how we get the tool results. And it just iterates over this and streams back the results as they come in. The tool call obviously happens first. It hits that. The tool result happens. And then the agent message happens at the end, even though these are not in the same order. Now let's actually give it a hard one. Calculate 10 shares of Apple with the current price. This should have two tool calls. It should have the call to get the current price and the call to the calculator to calculate the expression, which it does perfectly. And we get a little agent response there. If you got rid of all this, you would just get back the final message from the LLM. I know this bottom section is a bit difficult. One way to look at it, though, is you're grabbing the messages from the agent, you're grabbing the messages from the tools, and then you're grabbing all the tools and iterating over them. That is it, though, for this Chainlit stock agent, or stock and news agent, I guess. If you have any questions, I'm sure you do. I kind of went through this fast. Please comment down below. If you enjoyed this video, please share it. I also created a blog on dev for this. If you want to go over there and you want to have a written copy of this, I will also post that. And GitHub links are down below. You can just copy the code if you want to do that. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you next time.